Hello, fabulous Aquarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of March 2016, General Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. This month, and especially early in the month, the first part of the month, that financial focus that you're bringing into this month from late last month continues. You're moving forward, powerfully forward in some cases, towards understanding what role money is going to play for you in your life. The difference is late last month and in the very early part of the month, the focus is more on things like grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns, credit cards. These are the areas of life, and your relationship to these types of institutions, these types of sources of income are going to be part of the picture for you. But the energy does shift as we move into the month, still in the early part of the month when we have eclipse season beginning. And eclipse season starts with a solar eclipse happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with money that you earn, money that is part of your income and also your expenses. Now, what's happening with this particular solar eclipse is we have got Pluto speaking in harmony with this solar eclipse. At the same time, we've got Jupiter standing across the sky, and we have got Saturn speaking with this eclipse as well. Now, thankfully, Saturn is in a very supportive position for you. Saturn is in a part of the sky that is your home in the sky, but also works very much in harmony. It's an energy that works in harmony, that supports who you are, and the best of you is able to come forward. And with Saturn, especially as of late, it has been about you getting serious about bringing forward your very best, getting serious about what is your vision, what is your truth, what is it that you need to be and to express to be true to yourself, and getting serious about that, giving it the time, giving it the energy, giving it the pace that it needs in order to fully be realized. With this particular eclipse, it's about taking that desire, taking that knowing, taking that journey and connecting it to your prosperity, connecting it to whether it is, how is it that you are making money today that is contributing to that bigger vision for your life, that sense of realizing your hopes and your wishes. How is it that what you're doing today to make money and to earn money is part of contributing to your understanding of what you need to be true to yourself, of your own independence? There will be a desire to make that bridge that much stronger, to bring them together. This can also be just on a very practical level. This can be an opportunity showing up for you. This could be if you're open to new work, if you're wanting to have new work. This can be a really good time when an opportunity does show up for you that is not just about, here's an opportunity to sell products for a commission, but rather, the thing is, here's the thing, because of the way that Jupiter is standing across the sky from this, the first kind of opportunity that comes along might end up being something like that. You don't expect it to be, and then it might end up being. However, ultimately, this is in a part of the sky that has to do with income, and it tends to be something that is a little bit more reliable. And there are going to be at least two opportunities that do show up, and this is about increasing your income and contributing to that picture. This is about starting something new, starting something fresh. If you are working within an organization, this can be a really good time to consider how you're going to make yourself more valuable. So it isn't about you asking for a raise, but it's about you knowing that you deserve more and actually earning more as well, showing that you know what you're doing and that you are valuable to the company, valuable enough to garner a greater income. So that might be part of the picture. Another part of the picture might be if you're self-employed, if you work for yourself, this could be a time when you are initiating new projects, and some of those new projects really might come out of nowhere. That happens with eclipses, particularly solar eclipses. they tend to bring brand new opportunities out of nowhere. Now, in some ways, you can feel them coming, right? In some ways, normally, it can be like you're ready for this, you've been preparing for this. It's not necessarily, because Saturn is close by, it's not necessarily going to be this big leap into a whole other category. You might not go from, whatever it is that you imagine would be a big leap, right? It's so relative. And I do believe that money is very relative. The numbers can be very relative. It's based on your own understanding, your own relationship to money, your own history with money, and what you believe is possible for you. However, this particular eclipse does tend to sort of bring something in your lap that promises greater prosperity and promises a greater income to you. If you're self-employed, this can be a time when you are either launching new products or clients' opportunities just show up for you that lend themselves to you understanding how you can create greater opportunity for yourself in the fullness of time. This could also be if you are self-employed and you predominantly or you mostly do one thing, then all of a sudden when somebody wants you to do something that you know you can do, but you haven't done in a really long time or you didn't expect anybody to ask for, an opportunity like that shows up for you. So these are all possibilities of how it is that financial prosperity is likely to find you, and it likely is going to represent a big gain, a big step up, if you will, and a real sense that financially speaking, you are going to be better than okay. You are going to be moving towards a real sense of using the best of you to create a greater sense of prosperity, a greater abundance, and to have it be an abundance that lasts, that likely isn't going to be just a one-off, but it's going to be something that you know will be coming in on a regular schedule now and in the period to come. Also, with this particular eclipse, what I also like about it is that connection that's a little bit more personal. That connection that has to do on the one hand with karma, in some cases good karma, kind of showing up and then you got to run with it. In some cases, good stuff you did way back in the day you forgot about now shows up for you and you decide how you're going to move forward with it. But also, the really interesting thing with this is that there's a more emotional or personal element rather that has to do with believing in yourself, knowing that what you're giving is valuable and expecting the value of what you are giving to be returned in greater value. So ultimately, income is based on the value that you give, the energy of the value that you give to what you're giving the universe, and then the universe is able to reciprocate that to you and return that to you. So where it is that maybe some energy, some healing, some love, some understanding needs to be given to that level of what you're giving, energetically, what you're giving, you are going to get a chance to address that, and that alone can be part of moving you in a more prosperous direction. As we move further into the month, we have got a lunar eclipse happening, and this lunar eclipse is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with the world, really. It has to do with stepping out in front of more of the world. This can be an opportunity that finally comes to pass, but comes in mysterious and interesting ways, and rather, or very likely, is going to come through your connections, one-on-one connections with other people, speaking with another person directly, or having a representative speak to other people. And so when I see something like this, it does say to me that you may want to have a representative who's working on your behalf to either have you get published. Okay, so let's say you've written a book. This is about approaching agents. To have you actually get some media attention that is more focused on you. It isn't about the information, but it's more about you being presented to a wider audience. So again, an agent can be part of facilitating that for you. This can also represent a legal matter. Again, you want to have like a lawyer with you, but this is a full moon. This is about what sometimes you can see coming, but really this is about fruition and things coming full circle, things culminating. So this isn't likely to be like a legal matter coming out of nowhere, but rather this is going to be the culmination, the completion of a legal matter that might have been with you for a while. Where that doesn't apply, it might be a matter that has to do with long distance travel. It might have to do with citizenship matters as well, immigration matters as well. All of that likely to come full circle. You get the answers that you need and the answers that you have been looking forward to that can now empower you to decide how it is that you're going to move forward. There's also an element with this particular lunar eclipse that has to do with understanding your place in the world, understanding what you want your place in the world to be, whether it is literally in terms of where you are on the planet, whether it is in terms of what you believe and how you're perceiving the world, spiritually, emotionally, philosophically. But this is not like, the Cancers are having the solar eclipse in this part of the sky, but for you, it's the lunar eclipse in this part of the sky. And so the energy is different. It has to do with, for you, fruition. It has to do with what's come full circle, what you know is done. So if you know that you have been in a certain predicament with, again, it could be a legal matter, a matter having to do with higher education, a matter having to do with one of your former mentors or professors. This is going to be when you hear back, you get the news, you understand, and you know what is done. And you are like, okay, thank you, universe. I know now that I'm moving forward. That's done. That's closed. And with a lunar eclipse, things can come to a close rather quickly. And so this could be, if you've been sort of in an institute of higher learning, you've been sort of going back and forth trying to, redo an exam that you didn't do so well in. This could be the chance, the final answer that you get that says, okay, you can do it. This is the date, show up, and you get it done. And then that's it. And then it's behind you. It's resolved. That is what full moons bring. They bring a sense of resolution. And that is what is on offer with this lunar eclipse. What I love about this month for you is that you are learning about prosperity, but you're learning about prosperity in many different ways. Yes, there is the practical part of it, but there's also a part of it that has to do with you just placing greater value, understanding what you uniquely have to give to the world, and then actually being out there in front of the world to share and to give. All of that ultimately allows you to feel more in alignment with a sense of purpose, more in alignment with a sense of independence, and more in alignment with the truth that is uniquely your own. And if anybody needs to live in alignment with that sense of personal truth, it certainly is you. And living in alignment with that allows you to feel a deeper sense of well-being and a deeper sense of peace with yourself.